but Cliff Blazinski a couple of days ago, I want to say, actually maybe yesterday, asked a question. He basically asked, what is your resolution for this next year? And I'm kind of weird about resolutions. Resolutions, I used to do like very specific ones. I want to do this, I want to do that specifically, I want to get promoted, I want to save up enough money, I want to take a vacation. And they're not very satisfying because if you don't do that specific thing, you feel like you failed. So what I did, I started doing this about 3 years ago. And what I did is I stopped making my resolution specific. What I did instead is I made a vague resolution. And the first one I did is I want to say I said that I was going to make something. And that was it. I didn't care what I made. I didn't care how long I made it. I didn't care when I made it. I just wanted to make something over that year. And I ended up writing a music video, and that actually brought some closure to a couple things in my life. And it was actually a really good thing. Now, the next year I wanted to do something. And the year after that, I went to a couple of fighting game tournaments, and I had a blast. I went down to CEO 2013, and I had the most fun I think I've ever had on a vacation, ever. I'm so excited to go to CEO 2014. I cannot wait for it. But over this last year, if you look behind me here, this is a bar, but I'm not here necessarily to drink. I'm here to play fighting games. Gaming is a part of who I am. It's just been a part of who I've been since I can remember. Legends say that my older brother didn't feel like babysitting me, so he gave me an Atari joystick over my playpen, and I've been playing video games ever since. And it's always kind of stuck with me. And that has just been such a formative thing of who I am. And it's gone into a lot of things. It dictated where I applied to college, even though that didn't really pan out. It applied to different skills that I decided to learn. I learned how to pick locks, just as a kind of a hobby kind of a thing. When I realized that lock picking as a mechanic in Fallout was stupid. It makes no sense. So I wanted to learn how it was actually done. And I've learned a lot of stuff like that. I started playing fighting games just because fighting games are cool. I grew up with Street Fighter in arcades, and it would have been nice to actually be good at them back when I was getting blown up for 50 cents a pop when I was like 5 or 6 years old. So what I found myself doing over this last year, I actually work in video game retail, and I know that's not necessarily a popular thing in the video game community, but the reason why I work in video game retail is because it gives me the opportunity to talk to people about video games. And that's like my favorite thing about it. I get to talk to people on a daily basis about what they like about different video games. Like, why do you like Call of Duty versus Battlefield? Why do you like Mortal Kombat versus Street Fighter? Is Deus Ex, is Human Revolution or Dishonored a better Deus Ex style game? Or is it something else entirely? And these are the kind of conversations I love having at my job. And this last year was just bizarre because for the first time, like something that I always looked up to as a kid, like the guys at the video game store, they know everything, kind of came under attack. And for the first time I realized that I don't necessarily agree with everyone who is actually saying anything in the, in game journalism. And in anything that they're saying specifically, I found myself disagreeing with a lot of it, and I found myself getting mad at a lot of it because I didn't have an opportunity to say anything otherwise. I didn't have that opportunity to go back, or to actually, make myself heard. You have the comment section, but people only read like the two sentence comments. I think at my worst, I wrote a letter to the editor just after the Xbox One came out about how it kind of sucked that I felt like I was being attacked for a business model that I don't think a lot of people understand, and a business model where it feels like game companies were trying to change the culture of video games in order to support profits, when it should be the other way around. You should try to build a business model around what people will actually do in order to do those profits. And it just felt weird to me. I didn't like it. After that, I started just like writing like more elaborate posts anytime I saw anything specific. Most notably, when EGM did their review of Killer Instinct. It was horrible. They gave the review of Killer Instinct to someone who very blatantly, like in his first few sentences of the article, said that he hated Killer Instinct on like a conceptual level. And he absolutely refused to learn it. He refused to learn anything about it. He had basically made up his mind already, and he went into the game to confirm that things were mostly the same as he had remembered as a kid. And he was mostly wrong, and he just refused to look deeper into the game. I mean, I agreed with one or two of his points, specifically about character unlocks and giving you the opportunity to try a character without having to spend any money. But by and large, I hated most of his article just because it just felt like it was poorly done. And I wrote like a 5-paragraph, it was a small novel. Comment, and I don't think anyone actually ever read it, because I just kind of felt like I was shouting at a vacuum. Like you yell in there and it just sucks everything up and nothing comes out because it's a vacuum. And that really started to bother me. And I eventually decided, and it was kind of as a result of the PS4 coming out. When I got the PS4, I started doing live streaming. I thought, okay, this is cool. I can kind of share what what I'm thinking. I can kind of share like my opinions. I kind of just kind of talk about video games with people without having to go to work. And that was great. The thing that I like the most about work is something that I don't have to go to work to do anymore. That was kind of a thing. So I went and I bought a camera that I'm now recording this on, and I bought a microphone over here, and I got most of the kit. I kind of cobbled it all together here. But what the idea is for my resolution this year. For my resolution this year, I want to stop letting people talk for me. If I have an opinion about something, I want to tell people. I want them to tell me their opinions. I want to be able to mull this over with as many different people as I can. And I kind of do that with work already, but I want to do it on a broader level. I want to share with a broad audience what I think. About why the timer system in Dead Rising actually makes the game better by making it more important to manage your time. About how Killer Instinct, even though it has a combo system that makes it really easy to do like cool looking combos, the combo system isn't about that. It's about outwitting and outthinking your opponent and getting into their head. I want to tell people what I want in the new Fallout. I want people to tell me what they want, in the new Fallout. All these different things. And so, like I said, I got a whole bunch of kit, and this is kind of the start of it. I don't really know what kind of a format I'm going to use for a channel. I really don't. I have a couple ideas. Just like general kind of opinion piece stuff. Showing off, making my family play different video games, making my friends play different video games, stuff like that. Just kind of seeing what happens. And, I might make some money from this. I probably won't, but that's not the point. Because my resolution for this year is to say something. And so I guess that is my answer to you, Cliff. My resolution this year is to say something. My name is Andrew Seach. I go by the net handle of Dudeman Jones in pretty much everything I do. I'm a lifelong gamer. I'm here to say something. You guys have a happy new year, and let me know what you think down below. If you got any suggestions on how I can make this better, apart from not setting it up in the corner of a bar. I know that's kind of haphazard, but please let me know. Thank you very much for your time.